Okay, here we are, Advent in Cyber, day one. You can see I'm already on TryHackMe, and today's challenge is Linux CLI shells bells. Now, before I begin, I want to open this up just to kind of read back like a little disclaimer, if you will. And let me just go ahead and start by stating I'm not a cybersecurity professional. I have no experience in or with cybersecurity, and I am not a pro at doing these like live walkthroughs. However, I will take these challenges on as a beginner because I am, and I want to do this just like other beginners would. And you may see me stop, research, look a few things up, and I'll just kind of apologize and say sorry, but not sorry. And with that being said, here we go. This is day one, task one, and task two. I'm going to minimize here. And another thing I have open is DuckDuckGo's AI tool, Duck.ai. And that's just because I know as doing these for a couple years now, this is my third year doing this, Advent of Cyber Challenge, and although they say that they are, quote, beginner friendly, they leave a lot of context out and they don't really do the best at explaining some things. And as well, I've definitely seen a lot of missteps in how you walk through the entire challenge or task. So I just want that open just in case I need to go look anything up and run any kind of questions through. So we have video one here for the introduction task here. And we have video two here for task two, Linux CLI. So if you'd prefer to watch those instead of me, more than welcome to go do that. The only thing difference may be is that they probably have a bit more knowledge in what we're doing, and it'll show their faces in it, where I just don't let my face take up the screen view so you can actually see what I'm doing. So this is video one and video two. And so we got introduction, and here we go. The unthinkable has happened. McSkitty has been kidnapped. Without her, Wareville's defenses are faltering, and Christmas itself hangs by a thread. But panic won't save the season. A long road lies ahead to uncover what truly happened. The TBFC, the best festival company, team already brainstorms what to do next, and their first lead points to TBFC-Web01, a Linux server processing Christmas wish lists. Somewhere within its data may lie the truth, traces of McSkitty's final actions, or perhaps the clues of or to King Malhair's twisted vision for East Miss. I don't know what East Miss is, and I'm assuming that's Malhair and McSkitty. So learning objectives, we're going to learn the basics of the Linux command line interface, CLI, and we're going to explore its use for personal objectives in IT administration, and then we'll apply our knowledge to unveil the Christmas mysteries. Connecting to the machine before moving forward, review the questions in the connection card shown below. So we're going to review questions. Right here, have I successfully started my virtual machine? I could click check yes, but we haven't done that yet. And this is the connection card. So VM and split screen plus credentials. Am I going to need an attack box today? No. Do I need a VM today? Yes. Is there a split screen available? Yes. Is there a direct link available? No. Am I given credentials to connect directly to the VM via RDP, VNC, or SSH? Yes. So we're going to start the lab by clicking the Start Machine button. And click out of that. Loading. There we go. Click out of that. And we'll get an IP address here and the machine here. All right, so the machine will start in split screen view and will take about 2 minutes to load. In case the machine is not visible, click the Show Split View button that'll appear at the top of the page. Once the machine is loaded, you will have a terminal window. That's your Linux CLI that you'll need to type commands there. So our virtual environment has been set up, check. Alternatively, you can use the credentials below to connect to the target machine via SSH from your THM VPN. Well, I'm a beginner. Like other beginners, I'm not doing that. So we're going to click check. All right, and we're going to close. And we're going to click this here, which is task 2. So while I'm waiting for this to load, and there we go, IP address has appeared, we're going to go ahead and just start working through it. So working with the Linux CLI command line interface, but there's no graphical interface GUI on the server. How will we look for clues? Who needs a GUI when we have a Linux command line terminal? It's even better. I'm sure a lot of people think that's debatable on both sides of the coin. Oh, perfect. There we go. We have our machine set and ready. Linux has a powerful command line interface, allowing you to use and manage the system simply by typing commands on your keyboard. It's not as hard as it sounds. I will agree with that. Once you get used to it, maybe you'll like the CLI more than the graphical user interface. Again, debatable. Maybe you won't. Not only that, but experienced IT and cybersecurity experts, I'm not a fan of that word, so we'll say professionals, work with the CLI every day. So let's start learning. So we have 3 bullet points here. And first one is to run the CLI command type echo hello world. Echo hello world. Then press enter. This will echo the text back, as we see here. Then we can type ls to list the contents of the current directory. This command will show you McSkitty's files. So we'll do ls, enter, and we can see desktop, downloads, music, public, templates, snap, documents, guides, pictures, readme.txt, and videos. After that, we can run cat readme.txt to display the contents. You will see its content in the output. So like right there, that would be a prime example how I feel like this is not a good beginner friendly, because right here it says ls to list. And real quick, I'm just going to take a pause and then we'll come back. So we have in Linux commands, what does ls stand for? So it stands for list. Okay, great. Now, how about cat? In Linux command, cat stands for concatenate. I did know that, yes, but that's kind of a prime example why I feel like some of these challenges are not quote unquote beginner friendly. So when you use cat followed by the file name, it outputs the content of the file to the terminal. Perfect. So right here, we'll go back to this bullet point and we're going to do concatenate readme.txt. And for all TBFC members, yesterday I spotted yet another exploit. I'm assuming because he's a hare or a bunny on our servers. Not sure what it means yet, but Wareville is in danger. To be prepared, I'll write the security guide by tomorrow. It's a precaution, although I can't really see. I just see like what looks like an S, so I'm assuming it's a precaution, or as a precaution maybe. I'll also hide the guide from plain view McSkitty. Okay, so we see here, echo, list, concatenate. We've done those steps. We got the output. We got the output. Oh, it is as right here. Navigating the file system, looks like McSkitty left a security guide before being kidnapped. It would definitely help, and you might have noticed the guides directory, which we did right here. When we ran the ls command, that's likely the directory we need. Your CLI journey began at McSkitty's home directory, so right here. And where were we at? McSkitty's home directory. You can verify this by running pwd. So again, they didn't give context to what pwd means. I know what it stands for, but again, what does pwd stand for? So print working directory. It displays the full path of the current directory you are in within the file system. Perfect. So we're going to do pwd, and we see that we're in the home directory and then McSkitty directory. Okay, but now let's switch to the guides directory. So switch the directory by running cd guides, and you will appear at home McSkitty guides. Got it. So cd, even though again it doesn't provide context, we're going to just go in here. What does cd stand for? I know what it stands for, which is change directory, but again, I just feel like these are things that should definitely appear in a beginner friendly challenge. So Linux command cd stands for change directory. It is used to navigate between different directories in the file system by typing cd followed by the directory name. You can move into the specified directory. Perfect. So we're going to change directory into guides. And there we go. We've gone from home McSkitty. We saw inside that we had the guides directory and we moved into that directory. Okay, so now we're going to run the ls command again to list the content of the guides directory, and it will appear empty. So we're going to run ls, which stands for list, and we see nothing. Now looking for the hidden guide. Uh-oh, it looks like the guides aren't there. Or are they? In Linux, files and directories can be hidden from plain view if they start with a dot symbol. So example given, .secret.txt. Such a feature is often used by IT administrators to hide system files by attackers, and by attackers to hide malware. And now by McSkitty to hide the precious guide from the bad bunnies. View the directory again by running ls-la. The A flag shows the hidden files, and the L flag shows the additional details such as file permissions and file owner. So I'm just going to highlight that so I remember where it was. And again, what does ls-la do and stand for? So ls-la. So we remember that ls stands for list. The -l, this option, stands for long format. It provides a detailed list of files and directories, including permissions, ownership, size, and modification date. -a is all, so the option stands for all. It includes hidden files, those beginning with a dot in the listing. When you run ls-la, it displays a detailed list of all files, directories, including hidden ones in the current directory. Got it. Okay, so now we're going to do ls-la, enter, and we can see here we have ... and .guide.txt. Now, another question that I would like answered if I were a beginner: what do these stand for? If I run this command, ls-la, and I see these directories, what do they mean? So the period by itself, or the dot, this signifies the current directory. It refers to the directory you are currently in. So assumably guides. And the ... represents the parent directory. It is the directory that contains the current directory that we are in. So McSkitty. Okay, makes sense. Now we're going to read the hidden guide by running cat or concatenate .guide.txt. So let's do cat.guide.txt. Now we can see here, I think King Malheur from Hopsec Island is preparing for an attack. Not sure what his goal is, but exploits on our servers are not good. Be ready to protect Christmas by following the Linux guide. So we're going to check the var log and grep inside, which sounds like we'll need to look up some more information here in just a moment. And let the logs become your guide. Look for eggs that want to hide. Check their shells for what's inside. P.S. Great job finding the guide. Your flag is THM learning-linux-CLI. Okay, we're going to pause here. So we know this is where we're going to start next. And I'm going to scroll down just because we did find a flag. And let's look at our questions real quick before we get too far along. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 questions to go through. So the first one, which CLI command would you use to list a directory? Well, we looked that up. That's going to be ls. Hit enter. Awesome stuff. And what flag did you see inside McSkitty's guide? Got it. So we can grab this, right click, copy. Now if copy and paste doesn't work for you, which it should, but if it doesn't work, you can always come in here and grab it from here. Anyway, let's go ahead and minimize that. Close these out. Okay. And next one, which command helped you filter the logs for failed logins? What flag did you see inside Eggstrike script? And which command would you run to switch to the root user? Finally, what flag did Sir_Bane leave in the root bash history? I don't know any of those yet, so let's go back up to where we were, which was one more. There we go, grepping. So grepping the logs, in her guide, McSkitty refers to var log, a Linux directory where all security events logs are stored. Indeed, every SOC analyst at TBFC will confirm that the best way to find evil bunnies is to check the logs. Log files are usually very big, and looking through them with cat or concatenate is not ideal. So we're going to use grep, a command to look for specific text inside a file. But again, in my mind, what does grep stand for and do? So in Linux commands, grep stands for Global Regular Expression Print. It is a powerful command line utility used to search for specific patterns within text files. Functions of grep: pattern matching, text search, and filtering. So for example, running grep search term filename.txt would display all lines in filename.txt that contain the text search term. So if we looked for that specifically, got it. Okay. So now let's use grep, a command to look for specific text inside a file. Navigate to the logs directory with cd var log. So let's do cd /var/log/enter. And we can see we have changed from guides to varlog. Okay. Run grep failed password auth.log to look for the failed logins inside the auth.log. Okay. So grep failed password and then auth.log. And we can see what appears to be quite a list in here. Now a couple things I can see right off the bat. We can see from 129, invalid user www from 129, root from 129, invalid user, invalid developer, user developer. So we can see a bunch of different things here. And if we scroll through, we can also see IP here, a different one, another one here. I thought I saw a different one up here, 20 something. Oh, and then another one here. So a bunch of different IPs that we can notice. And even another one here. Okay. Let's go ahead and scroll through, and we see same thing here, running those steps, cd and grep. We're going to find the files, so we can see a lot of failed logins on the SOCMIS account, all from the hopsec location, I'm assuming based off the IP addresses. They were clearly trying to break into SOCMIS, Wareville's Christmas ordering platform. What if Bad Bunnies left some malware there? Let's follow McSkitty's guide and look for exploits in eggshells with find-a, or the flag -a, command that searches for files with specific parameters such as -name. Maybe that's not supposed to be like that. Maybe it's just supposed to be find and then a command that searches for. I think it's what it is. Find a command that searches for files with the specific parameters such as -name or the flag name. Now we're going to run find home SOCMIS name and then egg to search for eggs in the SOCMIS home directory. Okay. So we're going to run find /home /SOCMIS -name, and then it looks like an asterisk, egg, and an asterisk again. Okay, and we can see that's located in the home directory, SOCMIS 2025, and we can see eggstrike.shell, which is the .sh. Okay, and we do see that output here. So we can see run the, which we did. Note that find is a powerful command. Check out its documentation for more details, or we can always go back to Duck.ai. What does find stand for and do? I'm assuming it stands for find. Does not actually stand for an abbreviation. It is simply the name of the command, so it is find. And the find command searches for files, directories, and a specific path based on various criteria such as name, size, type, modification time, and more. We have recursive search, which is it can search through directories and their subdirectories recursively. And action execution, you can execute specific commands on the files that it finds. For example, you can delete, move, change permissions of the found files. Okay. Now we're going to come back over here and we can see it looks like you found something. eggstrike.sh. Files with the .sh extension contain CLI commands that are called shell scripts. Such scripts are used by IT teams to automate things and by attackers to quickly run malicious commands. Let's display suspicious scripts content and try to understand it. So we're going to change directories into this here. So we're going to just do cd, not dc, cd, home, sockmiss, let's try and spell correctly, man, 2025, boom. There we go. And we can see we've changed from var log to home sockmiss 2025. And now we need to concatenate eggstrike. So we're going to go ahead and concatenate that. And we can actually do an ls real quick. Just take a look, take a little peeky peek inside. And we see a couple things in there. And now we're going to do cat eggstrike dot, oh my lord, shell. Okay, now we can see eggstrike version 0.3, 2025, sir, carrot bean, hopsec, and we can see some of the output contents here, as well as your flag is THM sir carrot bean attacks. So we're going to pause one more time. We were under eggstrike content, and we'll come back to that. Scroll through all this here. Which command helped you filter the logs for failed logins? We did grep. And let's grab this here. Copy. What flag did you see inside the eggstrike script? There we go. And which command did you run to switch to the root user? Well, we haven't done that yet. So we're going to go back up. And we're under eggstrike content right here. So we're going to break this down. The lines with the, I guess, hash symbol, if you will, or the number symbol, are just comments and are not actual commands. So we can see this line here and here, and followed by this line here and here. And the cat wishlist.txt pipe sort pipe unique, which we see right here. This lists unique items from the wishlist.txt, and the command then sends the output to tmp dump.txt. So we can see it'll then output that content to this file here. Next line is the rm wishlist.txt deletes the wishlist files containing Christmas wishes. So it's deleting this file, and it echoes back, Christmas is fading. Then we have mv eastmiss.txt wishlist.txt, which now is replacing the original file with eastmiss.txt. Okay, so we have CLI features. The eggstrike script you read seems to be stealing Christmas wishes and replacing them with fake ones. You might have noticed that the commands in the script are a bit complex, but that's not unusual since the script author is no other than Sir Carrotbane, as it shows here, from hopsec, which is the leader of the hopsec red team, and let's explore the special symbols below. So we have a pipe symbol, which is this line right here. Send the output from the first command to the second command. So it's going to concatenate wishlist, and then it's going to sort it. And Right here we see cat, unordered list, sort to unique. So of course then it's going to take the output and run it through this command here. And the output redirect, which is what we have here. So we have one of those, which is the greater than symbol, and two of those greater than symbols. So one is to overwrite a file, and two is to append to the end of that file. Then we have the double ampersand, or the and sign. Run the second command if the first was successful. So it'll only run this command if this first command is successful. All right, so sir_bane attacks. Now it is clear that the server has been breached and Christmas wishlist has been replaced with an Eastmas 1. Although you found no clue of what happened to McSkitty, at least you know that the attackers were there. You can see how sir_bane replaced the wishlist by visiting http://1065.140.168.80.80. So again, that's my IP. Yours might be a little bit different. From the VM's web browser, you can open it by clicking the Firefox icon on the desktop. So by visiting, let's go here. It's going to be like some static site. It looks like that's the same one. So we're going to do this. And welcome to Werevil's Christmas countdown, 23 days, 6 hours, 2 minutes, 37 seconds until Christmas. So this year's most wishlisted Christmas items. Chocolate egg assortments. Let's do, there we go. It just keeps jumping around on me. Unless I think it's doing that on purpose. Yeah, I think it's doing that on purpose. Chocolate egg assortments, assorted sizes and flavors, hand-painted decorative Easter eggs, Easter baskets, seasonal flower bouquets, bunny-themed cookies, spring picnic hamper, DIY egg decorating, ceramic egg display, Easter egg hunt supply pack, and a pastel ribbon and wrapping set for gifts. Okay, so now that we've gone there, we have system utilities. There are hundreds of CLI commands to view and manage your system. For example, we have uptime to see how much time your system is running, the IP ADDR, which is to check your IP address, and PSAUX to list all processes. You may also check the usernames and hashed passwords for users such as McSkitty by running cat/etc or etc/shadow. However, you need root permissions to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of this. Open up our terminal here. And we can, you know what, let's open up a second one. Let's do minimize. We're going to open up a second one. Okay. And McSkitty, we can see here. So we want to concatenate etc shadow. So let's just try that. I know it's going to say it's not going to work because we need root. Okay, permission denied. So root user, root is the default ultimate Linux user who can do anything on the system. You can switch the user to root with sudo su. So again, let's go ahead and see what that means. What does sudo, wow, sudo su stand for? In Linux commands, sudo su combines two commands. Sudo stands for superuserdo, so superuserdo. It also, it allows a permitted user to run a command as the superuser, root, or another user as specified by the security policy. This command is often used for administrative tasks. SU stands for substitute user or switch user by default. It allows you to switch to the super user root account. Okay, so sudo su. And let's see here. So we can switch the user to root with sudo su and return back to McSkitty with exit command. Okay, so let's do sudo su. And it shows now root tbfc web01 home mixkitty. Okay. And of course we can exit. Let's just try that so we can see. Exit, which will take us back out. Okay. So let's do that one more time. I'm going to use the up arrow key 1 just to bring up my history and hit enter. All right, so now only root can open Etsy Shadow and edit system settings, so the user is often a main target for attackers. If at any moment you want to verify your current user, just run who am I. Who am I? Root. Got it. Switch to the root user by running sudo su and run who am I to confirm, which we just did. And that shows here. So real quick, I'm going to pause and scroll down. Which command would you run to switch to the root user? Sudo su. And finally, what flag did Sir Carrotbane leave in the root bash history? Well, I guess we're going to find out in just a moment. So we're going to do bash history. Did you know that every command you run is saved in a hidden history file, also called bash history? It is located at every user's home directory, so /home mixkitty.bash history for mixkitty and root /bash history for root. Just curious, what does root stand for? So in Linux and Unix-like operating system, root does not stand for an abbreviation. It refers to the super user account, full control, system administration, and essential for management. Okay, just showing that. And you can check it with the convenient history command. So we're already in root, so we can just run the history command, I assume, or do we need to change directories here as it shows? So let's do... let's take a look here. Let's check if Sir Carrotbane with his bad bunnies left their traces in history. Familiarize yourself with the bash history by running history command. So let's do history. Who am I? cd ll nano curl. Aha, curl and curl again. So we see here another flag. And we're going to copy that. Note that the commands are also saved to a cat.bash history, to a file. So we can cat, okay, so let's do cat.bash underscore history. Huh, nice. A little bit easier to, I actually kind of like that it's numbered here, but either way. So right here, it shows that it did cd root. I'm just going to see if that changes anything. Oh, so let's try /. Sorry about that. Okay. And now let's run cat.bash underscore history. Is that the same one? Yep, until we meet again. And right here, until we meet again. Okay. So it looks like this first option here, while we're in it and ran history, it actually pulled the same information as going into the directory of root and then concatenating .bash underscore history. Okay. So now we're going to scroll back down, paste this here, check, and let's close this out. For those who consider themselves intermediate and want another challenge, check Mixkitty's hidden note in Home Mixkitty documents to get access to the key for side quest 1. Well, I'm not going to do side quest 1. And enjoyed investigating a Linux environment, check out our Linux logs investigation. Okay. That's it. Let's go back. Nice. And continue, continue. Holy moly. Continue, close. All right, so if we wanted to do side quest 1 outside of this, we could go into the hidden note of home Mixkitty documents to get access for side quest 1. So if you want to do that, you're more than welcome to. I'm not, and I'm going to go ahead and end this one here. So to terminate your machine, select this, select terminate. Your machine has been terminated, and your machine has been terminated successfully. That's going to be it for day 1, task 1, and task 2.